The Dune trailer is here and it looks phenomenal. Welcome to the channel, thanks for clicking. Today we have something very important to talk about. Dune Part 3. I am a worm today also. For those of you who don't know, and I guess that would be everyone because I haven't really talked about it, I love Dune. I really love Dune a lot. This shit is serious. For some context, my Dune credentials, if you will. I watched the first Dune movie when it came out in 2021. I thought it was visually really cool, interesting vibe, compelling enough, but the plot teetered between boring and too dense sometimes, so I wasn't like a stan by any means by the end of the movie, but for whatever reason, it still sparked my interest enough to start the book. So I started it and I dropped that shit. I'm not gonna lie, I genuinely dropped the out of that book. Now fast forward to 2023. This is a year before Dune Part 2 comes out. I get put on the idea of audiobooks. Some people love them, some people hate them. I had no opinion, so I said, fuck it, we ball, let's try it. I finished that book in 3 days. Then the second one, then the third one, and the fourth one. From that starting point, for about 2 or 3 months, I was overly in my Dune era. I'm talking when I wake up, when I'm working, when I go to sleep, I had Dune in those AirPods. Shit was serious. I stopped at book 5 because it starts to kind of get disconnected from what I personally cared about, but even then I didn't like dislike the book, I just didn't finish it. So yeah, those are my Dune credentials. Shit was and is very serious for me. Like I said on my first watch, Dune Part 1 looked cool, but the plot was a little hard to get into. After reading the books, I don't know if this is just bias from spending so much time with those characters, but oh my gosh, that movie is peak. Dune Part 1 is truly a beautifully made movie. I feel like people don't really talk about that movie enough. Like, I see a lot of Part 2 glaze, but I feel like Part 1 gets kind of overshadowed. I think Part 2 is really great, like maybe even technically a better crafted movie than the first one. I just personally have a hard time with some live action depictions deterring from source material, especially on things that I feel like are core to the story's mythos. I don't know if that's like the right word to use, but what I mean specifically, and if you ever plan on reading the first Dune book, skip ahead because this is different than the movie. But Aaliyah is actually born in the book, not just a telepathic embryo thing. She is fully born. She is essentially the same as the movie in that she has knowledge beyond her age and doesn't like behave like a child. The major difference though is that in the end, Aaliyah kills Baron Harkonnen, not Paul. Now, the reason I assume they took this out is because I guess for a general audience, it's kind of goofy to see a 4-year-old in combat or killing like the big bad of the first arc, which to some extent I understand. Like, I think more so for me, the problem is with movies as a medium. Like, I think the only way we could advance past the idea of that looks too goofy, let's change it, is to actually do the quote unquote goofy stuff. Because like I said, out of context, I get how it does sound goofy for like a little kid to be doing all that. But when you're reading it and imagining it, nothing was goofy about that shit. Nothing was funny. Like, we are so serious. This shit was so serious. And like, if somebody explained Star Wars as a space opera with glowing stick battles and a screaming bear yeti thing and a love triangle where 2 of the 3 members are related, I don't think I'd quite want to watch that shit. But I love Star Wars. Now, that's kind of an apples to oranges comparison, but I just don't want to limit sci-fi fantasy movies to what would quote unquote be believable on screen. I want no limits, make shit as weird as possible, just give your VFX artists enough time to make it look palatable. Okay, enough yapping, let's talk about the trailer. This shit looks phenomenal, truly a masterwork. I was never nervous about this movie by any means, always knew it was going to be good, or at the very least that I would like it. However, I was a little concerned how it would do in the box office opposing Doomsday. Not that Dune has done poorly in the box office or anything, but Avengers movies just go crazy when they come out. After watching this trailer, I can confidently say this is a fair fight. They're in the same weight class type shit. Shit looks so good, bro. But okay, so immediately we got Ganima and Leto name drop. Son, I don't want to say too much, but bro, listen. If this is a pseudo Children of Dune Messiah mashup movie, it's over. Genuinely, it's over. I'm gonna become the most annoying person on the planet. I'll never shut up about this shit. And Robert Pattinson is side still. Yeah, GG, bro. It's over. I promise you it's over. Paul is bald now. We're gonna refer to bro as Bald Atreides. Like Paul Atreides, but Bald Atreides. Because he's bald now. Do you get it? Like, his name is Paul, but he's bald. Let me know if that hit. Bro's washing himself off. I don't know if he's washing blood off himself or just washing himself, but either way, it seems like Bald Atreides is serious. Again, I don't want to say too much, but I don't think his ass is playing in this one. Like, look at bro, he's overly in that field, not commanding from a distance, in that field, in those trenches. Shit gets serious. This shot is so fire, probably my favorite shot in the trailer. I don't know what they're shooting, but that shit looks so tough. It's so so energetic. Like, I don't know, it just looks fire and makes me very excited and hopeful for the Stoneburner. I feel like the Dune franchise, and even more so this one than the first two, looks so distinct to Dune. Not just like a generic space property. I don't even want to say Star Wars because everyone says that. Like, that's the archetype for this type of thing. But for me, sometimes it's like any space thing just has no flavor to itself. It's just like we're in space and then it just feels boring. Dune feels like Dune, and that shit is fire. We get our first shot of Scytale, who is my favorite character in the book. I'm not even trolling. I'm not making this up. Off rip, when I first read the book, from his very first scene, this was my favorite character, peak actor. Robert Pattinson is my favorite actor. If you don't like that, I don't give a fuck. That's my goal. Like, that's literally Batman. Aaliyah looks sick. I know I said my biggest issue with Dune 2 is Aaliyah, but Anya fits very well for adult Aaliyah. I'm not gonna lie. We get more war sequences. They're fighting an army of people with armor that looks like it's inspired by samurais or something, so that's very cool. They taking them for that journey. Like I said, shit is getting serious in this movie. Trailer's almost over, so you know they gotta drop a banger line for us. Paul still has his hair, so we could assume this is early in the movie or maybe like a flashback. But he says, "How did father do it?" His mom says, "Your father never started a war." It's over, bro. What does he even say to that? GG's. Another war shot, again, looks great. They're running their asses off trying to transport something. I don't know what that's about, but looks great. Aaliyah looks like she's sheathing two blades at her side, so I assume she just slimed somebody. Her ass do not play. Not gonna lie, in this movie it looks like everybody just on that. Like, shit is not sweet with nobody. We see Duncan again. He got a different fit on, maybe a little more aura, you know, a little extra aura. I know it might be weird seeing him because his ass definitely did not make it past the first movie, but it'll make sense. Just watch. Another shot of Scytale. One thing I will say about Scytale, and minor spoiler if you know nothing about his abilities, I hope we get to see a good amount of shape-shifting and it's not like too grounded to where it's just basically Robert Pattinson and he like kind of looks different sometimes. Not that I expect him to be completely different every time it happens. I just want good face dancer representation. All walking up the stairs to overlook his army, very fire. This feels obviously reminiscent of the scene in Dune 2, but like at a way larger scale. Ball Atreides did not come to play. Clearly, big ass army. This shit serious. Also, this shot looks amazing. Just look at that crowd wave. One more time. Now really look at it. Like, y'all not seeing it for real. That shit looks amazing. Final shots of the trailer. Paul and Chani both looking into the camera, both very serious. The beginning of the trailer, they're holding each other, talking about children. By the end, the trailer frames it like they oppose each other. From lovers to enemies. Like, how poetic, bro. Come on now. One of the biggest changes in the movie is Chani leaving at the end of the second film. So honestly, I have no idea how this is gonna go pertaining to like if they're against each other or whatever the case is, especially if this is supposed to have implications or adapt Children of Dune. I don't really understand how they would do that given where we left off versus the source material, but I'm gonna be a lot more open-minded for change for this one. If they want to change things to service the story in live action, that's fine for me as long as it works. I'm just genuinely curious as to how they could even do certain things given where we are in the live action adaptation. But I digress. Very interested to see. This trailer looks really good. Like I said before, I was unsure if this would be able to compete with Doomsday at the end of the year, but this trailer gave me all the confidence in the world. I feel like this trailer gave a good sense of what to expect for the movie without actually showing too much, hence a teaser trailer, but sometimes teaser trailers are mid as I feel like this trailer is only showing up until like the middle of the movie or maybe just a little bit of the third act, but I could be completely wrong. I don't know, I just feel like they're not showing too much. Just based on what I know to expect from the book, I know there's key moments they haven't shown anything from, really whole sections of the book to be honest, so that'll be exciting to see and I'm glad they left it out. Can't be showing too much of the movie too early. This movie has a new score. It's not the same chanting from the first two. It's more grim and like loud and just overall more tense and negative. Honestly, I can't really think of a better word than negative, but that's just what it feels like. Like the first score is optimistic. It's like a chant of elation or catharsis. Like overall just like a good thing, I guess. This one just feels negative, like war and bad vibes. So yeah, it fits. Honestly, I don't have anything else to say other than this movie looks amazing. That's all I have for today. Let me know your thoughts on the Dune 3 trailer. If you think it's peak, if you think it looks just okay, let me know. Also, I'm curious, for those of you who've read the books, what's your favorite one? Mine personally is Children of Dune by far. That's probably my favorite book in general. That or one of the Stormlight Archive books, I don't know. But yeah, let me know. That being said, I'm gonna get out of here. Talking about all the Dune kind of got me in that one mood, so I think I'm gonna go watch both movies, not gonna lie. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps a ton. We're almost at the big 100 subscribers. YouTubers, so thank you. That being said, thanks for watching. This has been Double Creature. Bye.